Hello, hello. It is a relatively nice Saturday. And so I don't know how many people I might have show up, but I decided to do my live outside today. And if anything, I am going to just talk to my best friend out here and yeah, enjoy the weather while it's not too terribly hot or humid today. But for those of you who might be new to my channel, I'm Holly Powell. I'm so excited for you to be here. I hope you all can hear me okay because I have my microphone on, but I'm assuming it's going to work pretty well. But as I was sitting here thinking about what I wanted my live to be about, I had a lot of thought around helping new YouTubers mindset. And as somebody who is older, so for reference, I'm 44 years old. I thought I would take this time and just talk about some different mindset shifts to have, especially if you're new to the YouTube game, to be able to help you to keep going and not get discouraged when you don't see the analytics and um, all of the uh, like numbers that you're expecting to see. Maybe you're not getting the subscribers you're hoping for or anything like that. So I just wanted to talk about that. But I'm going to just wait a couple minutes and just see if anybody pops on. I think I see two people possibly on. So hi. If you can just leave me some info in the I'm going to turn my chat filter on so I can see. But welcome. I'm really excited to have you here. I'm Holly, by the way. I'm from North Carolina. So tell me in the chat where you are all from. And if you're new to the YouTube game too, tell me that because I think that's really interesting. But as you might be on here, I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing off. Hold on just a second. All right, I think we're good. But hi, thank you. Can you all hear me? Thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. I do appreciate it. I have this stupid welcome to the live chat remember guide policy for my like where my chat's supposed to be, and I can't figure out. Oh, hi, thank you. I can't figure out like how to take it off. But anyway, oh maybe it's just on here. What's up, Crazy Life? Now, Crazy Life, tell me what your real name is. I feel like is it Cody? I feel like it might be Cody. Maybe I'm wrong. I may have made that up because I know Cheyenne, I think, has said it a couple of times, but I don't know. Thank you for hopping on. Oh, 26 people. Oh my gosh. Well, where are you all from? Let me know that because I would love to see that. Corey, I knew I was so close. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit too on this Sunday. Hi, Mom. That's Karen Klein, by the way, if you all see that in here. But as I'm sitting here outside, so you might see if you keep a close eye out here, you might see my hummingbirds coming through. So I'm officially at that age now where I love hummingbirds. So for those of you who might be new, I'm Holly Powell. I live here in North Carolina. It's a beautiful day to be outside and just hanging out with y'all for a little bit. Thank you, Hydropower, for telling me that my audio works. I appreciate it. Now, is it loud too? I want to make sure it's loud because sometimes I have that issue. But if you're just popping on, I thought I would talk about the YouTube journey, especially for those of you who have a YouTube channel. And as somebody who's a little bit older, for reference, I'm 44 years old and recently quit my job to go all in on YouTube and my coaching business. And I wanted to just talk about the mental game that tends to happen with YouTube and just how to keep your mindset in the right spot so that way you don't give up on YouTube. And some things that I've seen that I don't know are the best to do if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel. My sip, by the way, if you guys wanted to know, is this LaCroix, and it's the strawberry peach flavor, and it's actually my favorite. I used to drink the lemon one quite a bit, but now I like, I don't know what that means, Richard, but thank you. But how many of you on here have your own YouTube channel? Yeah, thank you, Corey. This is not a dating app, okay? I'm not here to, source any boyfriends. Let's just put that out there. I'm going to get myself a moderator, and thank you for stepping in and doing that for me, Corey. I do appreciate it. But tell me, like, if you're on, I see a few people on here, where you're from. I know, Corey, you're from Virginia. I saw Cheyenne on a little bit earlier. For those of you who don't know, Crazy Life, his name is Corey, and he does a lot of lives too, especially around like fishing and things like that. And he lives in Virginia and does lives pretty frequently in the evening. But his girlfriend Cheyenne also has a YouTube channel too, where she sings live, and you can donate to help her if you want her to sing a certain song. But it's pretty cool. It's amazing to see like the community that you can build on YouTube if you're doing it the right way. Because what I've seen, and this is just like a plug, because I've noticed a lot of it going on. If you're trying to grow watch time hours, I've seen a lot of people say to put like your phone on a black screen and just have it stream for hours and hours and hours to get the watch time. I don't recommend that, because if you're on YouTube, chances are, if you're wanting to do it the right way, is to grow a community of people that you can help. Like, YouTube is meant to solve a problem for people. And I feel like if you're just trying to get into YouTube in hopes that you're going to make money and you're going to get monetized and you're going to be a millionaire and be like Mr. Beast, I don't know if that's really the right way to go. And that might offend some people, and that's okay. That's not my problem. I just want to be honest about it, because I think it's a really not ethical way to gain watch time hours, and you're going to lose credibility, and you're not going to have people that are going to really support your channel. Yeah, I've heard that, Corey, that the crazing community is huge, especially a lot of people wanting to get into fishing. So I've seen that. That's good. That's what it's all about, is doing it for fun. I'm from Brazil. This is my first time you're live. So I do, and Beta, thank you for that. And stop it in, by the way. What's your real name, if you don't mind me asking? But I worked in a retail environment for a really long time, and when I quit my job, I became a certified life coach. So I help people with personal development and business. And so a lot of the videos I make are just how to start your online business, if that's something you're wanting to do, especially if you're somebody who's a midlifer like myself. I'm 44 years old. Made the big leap to quit my job, and it's not the easiest thing to do. So I wanted to help give people courage to be able to do that, and give free resources to be able to help and support. But I also talk about a lot of other things too. Like, I've been playing around with um, my value system. So what my life now is based on is my faith life, my health journey, and family. And so I thought about doing like videos on CrossFit, because I just recently started doing that, and it's been a heck of a journey. And then I also do videos on faith, but I have a couple coming out around the YouTube journey, because YouTube can be a tough mental game if you're not careful, and people get discouraged really quick if you don't go about it the right way. And I hope to help people, especially with me having some knowledge on how to handle certain things, on gaining the right perspective, especially playing the long game of YouTube. But what do you do? Do you have your own channel? Hi there. I see a couple other people on. I'm not sure if it's everybody who's still on here. Yeah, no problem. If you're interested in checking them out, I appreciate it. I think the beauty of having a small channel is that you can play around more with things that you really enjoy talking about, especially for people over 40. I think there's a really big need for those of us to jump onto YouTube because we bring a different level of experience for a lot of people. And if I can give courage to help support others to join the bandwagon, this is the perfect time to do it. But with that being said, just I'm in the process now of just making videos that I really enjoy making and giving an array of content, because then when my videos and my channel eventually does take off, one, I'll have the experience on what it is that people are looking for and asking for advice for. But then the second piece is now they have a bunch of topics they can ask me about because I've done so many different ones. Oh, nice job, Corey. I'm proud of you. Oh, you're in Brazil, but you live in Dallas, Texas. Okay. Yeah, Dallas is a hot spot. I'm originally from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So that's where I spent most of my time. But congratulations, Corey. That's a big deal. I think I'm at 176 today, which is good. I'm happy about my slow growth. Makes me happy, especially when people are commenting more and asking for feedback and asking questions. It makes me happy. Now, Corey, how long have you had your channel going for? Hello. We had a talk the other day, one of my channels, about recovering from addictions, and we had some hard talks. Ooh, that's a really good one. That's a really important one too, Corey, because that addiction is really, really prevalent, and there's more people who talk about how to overcome that. Is such a powerful tool to have, especially when if you've been through it. I'm sure it's not easy. Oh, you don't post I see. So Youngington killing it. You post two on TikTok. Nice. I'm not really on the TikTok. One of my friends keeps trying to talk me into doing TikTok, but I need to stay consistent and stay in one lane, because if I'm not careful, I won't post anything at all. And I caution anybody who's, especially if you're trying to make YouTube a business, is to just be careful of not jumping into every single social media platform all at the same time, because then you won't do any of it. But the last couple that I posted seem to do okay. Yeah, alcohol, tobacco, yeah, other stuff. Yeah, it's more chance of getting paid. Yeah, listen, getting paid is part of it, but for me, it's not all about the money. I know I'm an anomaly on that, but as somebody who I grew up poor, for reference, just in case anybody wants to know, and I worked really hard to make a lot of money, and here's what I will tell you. Um, Money does not make things better. Money actually can make you a lot more stressed out. And for me, when I started YouTube and doing this, it's because I want a tribe of people that I can help and I know that will support and I can support along the way. And it not necessarily be about followers, and it's not about how much money I can make. It's about how many people I can help. And maybe I could do that too on TikTok, but again, I have to pick my platforms because I have a lot going on and I don't want to be overwhelmed. And YouTube for me right now is my priority, but I'm glad it's working out for you though. I think that's great. Hopefully you are able to have a great success on TikTok. I know that people do, that's for sure. Yeah, I agree with that, Corey. I'm all about that giving heart these days. Now, when I was younger, I will tell you it wasn't. I was very financially motivated when I was younger, as most people are. Obviously, you want to be, have money and success. And I think the important thing to always remember, though, is that it can be really damaging if you look for people to validate you online when you're miserable in your real life. And I've seen that happen a lot with people um, on the social media game. And again, this is why for me being older is better, because I've played and I understand how that works. And I was the generation that created social media, and so I've seen what could happen to people in a negative way if you're not careful. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Um, let's see. I love being here with you. Have to go to work. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for being here with me too. I appreciate it. You look like my English teacher. I don't, but thank you. Is it Zakata? So, no, I do not have any siblings. But it's nice to know that I have a doppelganger in Chicago. Your hobby went into micro business. That's cool. I appreciate you all hanging out with me on a Saturday too, by the way. How's the weather where you all are at? I see I have a couple people on here. It's actually for June. It's not as hot and humid here in North Carolina like that it has been. And for the first time, we haven't had rain, so it's actually nice to be and see some sun, I know, for a little bit, but yeah, muggy. Is muggy good for fishing? I don't know. I'm gonna write that down as a hobby though, Corey, because I was thinking about before I jumped on here for YouTube and talking about YouTube, but since I have some free time, I really want to get into doing more like hobby and giving back and community stuff. But what are some things I've always wanted to do? And I've never gone fishing. Well, that's not true. I have gone fishing once, but I was really little, so I don't remember a whole lot about it. But I can see like the appeal because it's so I can see that it's so like refreshing and it's just quiet time. So I'm gonna put that down on my list. Fishing. Another one is golf. Is there any golfers out there? I love watching golf on TV. Spitting image. Gonna tell her about your channel on Monday. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, and then she can like maybe send pictures and say, "Hey, I'm your sister in Chicago." Cass is the it's overcast conditions is best for fishing. Also, when the barometric pressure is low for fishing is good too. That's good to know. That's good to know. So, Zakata, do you have a YouTube channel? Because I write these down as you all subscribe. I like to be able to subscribe to your channels too. I think us small channels got to stick together. It's one thing that I always hope is eventually when our channels take off, that we remember the small channels who are just starting out, by the way, because they need all the love that they can get. We know how it's not an easy game out here. Does anybody have kids on here? Just curious. And if so, if you're dads, happy Father's Day, early Father's Day to you all, because I know it's tomorrow and hopefully you all are doing something fun for Father's Day. So I have 5 folks on here. Oh, she's 1 and she's 7. What's her name, Corey? I love kids, so I don't have kids of my own, unfortunately. Was never blessed to have my own, but when I go places where people do have kids, I'm normally the adult that's hanging out with the kids, or if you have dogs, I'm hanging out with them too. I'm just that person who I just think you can't love kids enough, and unfortunately, so many people grow up in not the best environments, and so as an adult, I feel like if I can just be a safe place and just show some love to kiddos and just make them feel like they're important because they are, that brings me a lot of joy in my life. Aw, Katie. I love that. Thanks for sharing. But I do have fur babies. So I have Zoe. There's my English Springer Spaniel. She's just hanging out. It's not too terribly hot out here for her, so that's good. It's actually not too bad out. I tell people that I have one that old for my age and they flip out. They're only 26. Listen, that's okay, Corey, because my mom had me when she was 16 years old. So it's funny. I'm at a point in my life where, so I'm going to be 45 this year, and my mom just turned 62. I think that's 16 years apart. And as we were growing up, because she was a baby raising a baby, she didn't know what she didn't know. And, parents, you all do the best that you can, and it's not easy to be a parent, I'm sure. But now that I'm older, I find myself being more of the parent, and my mom, and she'll probably agree with you too if she's still on here, that my mom has noticed that I parent her too sometimes. It's just that shift that happens. But yeah, stay present, especially for a dad, I've noticed. So I didn't grow up with a really strong father figure. And that's one of the things that I really wished I would have had growing up, because I feel like I didn't have the best representation of how men should treat women. And so if you're a dad out there, and just advice for somebody who grew up who didn't have that, I feel like it could have been better for me for sure, but also had a better relationship with relationships and things like that. But I will say, and it's not a knock on my dad at all, but my dad did give me some strong work ethic growing up for sure. That's why I'm so independent like I am now. And my mom too. I give her credit for that too. Yeah, she did. My mom was a tough cookie for me growing up, because she was not going to let me fall into the same trap that she fell into when she was 16. And unfortunately, my mom didn't have a big support system either when she had me. And so she was basically like a single mom trying to raise me the best that she could. And her strictness in keeping me on track, I think, is another big reason why I'm where I'm at, because I was taught to have structure, and I was taught to have routine, and that if I wanted something, I had to work hard for it. And that's really, really important. I understand, because my father walked out of my life when I was 4. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, abusive stepdads, that's unfortunate. I've having grown up in an abusive situation, will tell you all, through therapy. I went to therapy for a really long time. I was in therapy for like 7 years. And what I came to find, especially with the people who do the abusing, is they were also very abused. And I'm not saying that we need to give everyone a pass. Okay, I think everybody needs to be held accountable to a certain point. But as a believer in Jesus, I know that they have their own battles that they have to fight. But the unfortunate part about abuse, and just from what I've experienced in my life, is my real dad, who was an alcoholic and a drug addict still to this day, very emotionally abusive. He grew up in a really, really tough environment with my grandmother, and he had a father that was really not, he was a great provider, but he was not a very loving father. And that's a big reason why the way he is. And so giving grace, I guess, would be